Awusia for smart Ghana update and amohwe mo bibia akwaba na ensema ekoso Ghana say the Ghana so ho ayedin and as Ghana ayedin na yetutufu emu ebimu person chese Ukraine Russia war ni ade chese ensem bebre na Ghana for eka eno na Kojo Oppong Nkrumah oye minister of information wono asa MP ma ofun ase ayire bi ni krom no eho Kojo Oppong Nkrumah ayi nsem bia no a chese hardship I koso Ghana wodwene ho san na mebese yakọ ne ekotie ni nsem a wo kan ye efa adwoasafo ho ne parliament reshafo ayese nkana na do anka akofo ado eye nyina waka ho asem enko ne ekotie mra ba ebedi hu nkomo.
What would you tell Ghana for feeling disappointed? Say we thought sanka we mo betima ye bibi ba se bibi ekwe de enhye nko ye.
Me kind of bisa me sa question but me kai pa say in 2020 obi bisa me similar question. Yeah, disappointed. And I said to them, the best opinion poll, the best way of determining is on the 9th and 10th December, when the total aggregate of Omua Yamom to me so take a decision.
Yes.
Ebekwako expresses our decision. No? And I was optimistic at the time, say, and you be na satisfied with Nanado measures nibi. From 2017 to 2020, but now me were confidence. Say by the time I be, the majority of Ghanaians will say they approve of his 4-year performance at that time. It's not very different from the conversation going on today. Say, your friend of public discourse. Your boy do I for say, okay, public opinion. It depends on who you are speaking to. Who the mic kosha kwa lansa obeka a part of public opinion, but what does mean? What it actually comes to say, ma opening opportunity na on 74-year mandate. In the midst of all the difficulties, we're introducing measures or review measures, or baby I can adjust kakra me kai COVID start say yeah by June the na obi e ka sa nyo no. Say enye yi nkofo be but ye kone ba na dani by the time 4-year mandate no so ye no about 500,000 Ghanaians in excess were dead sure that this is a good mandate, deserves 4 more. Me hopeful as always. Say senior ye kona ye assess ye niema ye hwe hade ye anye ye o se sesa no there be we de emfa kwan mu we de ye twa o se to aso Kumasi akwan yi e wo se yetumi ma ye ni ko ho na epia kakra meko ye ne kakra by the time 4 years ne be so no me hopeful say usa bisa Ghanaians biom like they did in 2020. Before then there were very similar questions. You get a majority saying they are satisfied with how the governance has gone. That's my hope, that's my expectation, that's what we are working towards.
Is Sarah Adwoasafo still a minister in this government?
My understanding is that she's on extended leave.
Extended leave.
That's my understanding. Statement about I said, "What can be? That's my understanding."
So after started we in communication,
communication,
your extended leave.
That's the last statement we got.
One of the things ABC newspaper survey and survey results scientific survey. Gordon sorry be there.
I no hard drink crowd.
But any day. Nipa be 200.
Any day.
Nipa be 200 in Accra and Kumasi. And Sewosha from only survey though unscientific, no. If elections were held today, the NDC was slightly ahead of the NPP. But also almost I talk also busa or man for why they would vote in that direction. One of the things I'm kind of say, Abayi, as a clearly ministers need be more number, but reshuffle are a problem. The government seems lethargic. I say, why is reshuffle so difficult for our president?
I don't think it's difficult. What I would say, so 2 things. First, a buying policy, they say, the survey be scientific or unscientific. We take it as feedback. From 2017, anytime a survey comes up, whether from Imani, University of Ghana, wherever, who frame me, I say, we take it as feedback. Into their Gordon Ekan, we take it as feedback. So, Ubisa about shuffling, me little political science reading, my shuffling of governments is an instrument in parliamentary systems. Where the Prime Minister is first a member of Parliament and he sits at the table with his colleagues, he's only prime among them. until you use shuffling as an instrument to whip control. In a presidential system, typically you don't have shuffling. When the president is of the view that what's somewhere we corner bimra, he will remove you and put somebody there. Hardly do you have shuffles in pure presidential systems. Ghana system now you're running a hybrid that has only worked for 20 years.
30
years. It's still nascent stages. I am clear in my mind. Say, Omampeni, Udu Bebia, Usunsu say, or say, or some specific people for specific reasons. In the first term of his administration, one year wholesale shuffle. But there were some rules, Edu Bebino, midway through, or say, I'm a deputy. Edu Bebino, or my boss said, you ma fufro, and or shuffle, and or de me ba, and me too, and me
yes.
So he has demonstrated, say, where he thinks it's necessary to do it at a point in time, he will. But uti all the feedback, and I'm sure it's even this feedback, he will listen and he will work with it.
Oppong Nkrumah, ma yenase, yebese ndinkom.
Eno ane akwakotie abana ono de oche se 2024 ene beche na 2024 nso dem go see eno de bi na dem me masem dem go see mon prove you wronga eno hon komo ne ba be dim na go fie Jessica pa ne ba be di hon komo ye ni nkomo na ho
ai samolu abonyombe manka nkyira wo se matatwene kacha no masa ni sua osu no e dia sembeba e na wo se me se emfa wo ho nche ehu wakofa bekame Oppong Nkrumah, one of my favorite ministers, but for the first time I disagree with him totally. Yes, totally, because he's speaking as if that's 4 years ahead of them. Oh, Edruha. We are in 2022 for crying out loud. I have to say July 2022. In fact, July 1 we are in June, but if I say July 1, yes, and you are still talking so 2020 is an buy. Maminya di kwefu me nam de minya kwanka masem. 2020 now all canon. What was the situation then? And the name situation be wo. It is if people if somebody had asked you those questions, say, Mujiri Sembotu we need 2020 election, the answer no, the results of the elections on at 2020 no prove more right, many panel proven wronger. They see 2020 be na see ne. And 2020 na COVID imagine hini said na mo ane mo dey asamo amoka no. Na COVID imagine hini. The reason why some of them were not sure whether the government of the day, the incumbent government, no, because when we need 2020 election was Galamsey fight. Don't forget. Galamsey fight ma nkofo kone videos amanfo suso modwuma say na money ade. Enti na nye sa situation e wo mi nti kodo Oppong Nkrumah kasa no nti bankofo do money to 2020 nti ono kana kakraka say 500,000 Ghanaians decided say they will make say Kufuor government continue the governance different from now. And no crown that 2020 election I want him to you untumi nkonya 1 million vote in 2016 now me change you say 2 in 2020 and still be proud say when we need to no it never be why I warning to them it almost come why you be omo come nya bibi no nya so ma relax na omo da kunyemo edru ha sa na be edru ha sa because go for any abde o say petrol increment every day petrol fuel here to fuel price there cost no you are not that dent on your government and still ko do relax ya gentleman oboni coat come Ghana yi bon ha and wa relax na work but ABM meaning so omo opposition if they wouldn't mind there because omo they have enriched themselves the office o ye kokora e betun sustain e they are fine anya sa no so mo pepa se Ghana fonti na omba som Ghana there omunyai kasa bebrebe no normal actions nya adwuma dan say me say edru one there ye mfa entopon koma no ye ana osaka ministers ye reshuffle no ho asem and all my excuse say didn't reshuffle for na good for
was answer na no work no na say o my years Ghana ya bedru ni ade no na say who kasa na that means Kufuor was wrong reshuffling wrong
in terms say and then small kind them na nya gbe ba kokora de bia mta na ya gane but net the nyadwene. You know, government is a collective effort. So it has a collective responsibility to be at the nyadwene and nim die nyansa ene ye de boa. So what I say, baby obi ade no, obi kwa wonya ade. Etina kofo nyansa mu no, acha fibia na ibia no wa reshuffle wom, wa circle wom, wo ye interior minister, koshe ABA defense. Nipo akopa na kofo resumint ya antansa no defense minister. Dr. Adokofo on a defense minister na ya kaisi sano. But if you ono omo aka nyina wo hani pushu akosha wo hani pushu akosha Kojoba do from economic minister of finance to local government we nkwa eno boa mo wa ban hu se wo failure and say oh yeah he's agric minister almost everybody boni din say ni nyuma sabe enhwe ni ebi all dey woni so hu say ehwe ni ti say ehwe ni na ampa reshuffle him to another the ministerial office na ko say ni model way ampa na because for mudwuma dey jeje obi a be mistake so what I say e na omodwuma akwan no hu bibia ho so what I say ti so ka say reshuffle dey yema prime ministers ni ade na den size explanation of the man no it's not good enough because comfortable hon mo hu say ministers be bring ka number say the menua asempa kan no etimi de mi hu say Kojo Oppong Nkrumah nso wode betutu dwa nayi e de ni nyina no enya de
ye hwe na wode wano si no adwasafo nsensem ya wasase ama an extensive leave ni ade
extensive leave no shase da ben sa extensive leave na o kan da ben shase because nyina nim say ya ma obi sa extensive leave na o kana anke en san tire krata an komansi ehia no privileges committee or parliament house ane omampani akasa nso communication team no se Kojo Oppong Nkrumah kasa say dia oye medin ho ya kakra because as a minister of information you should have day to day informations about your ministers. It was said the last time or tell you know there na when ya extensive leave yes you say address of ko ya che ntibesi ne no BBNC address of ko at the statement aba say ni say on nkofo communicating. So what is the day to day affairs of Mr. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah? Is okase address of or extend into on ho na ni ministerial or say office no na ho saa just obi ensu ni hon mo be kan obetumi aye address of adwuma apart from address of nko a etu on kono samra bi do kan de antoma sumba akokra na de no for me and no
no for me and no. I smart Ghanaweb. If I come and browse comment section, do be as so much.